Doesn't look like anybody's here yet, but we are back on the SMP. And I'll wait around a little bit and get some people to join. All right, so looking at the chat, it seems like there's going to be a fight. So maybe I should go and watch that fight before we do anything else. And so to do that, I'm going to get on my horse. So let's go to my tools, pull out my lead. I was thinking today what I wanted to do was do a lot of like construction work and getting my house ready to go. But I wouldn't mind stopping by spawn real quick just to see if anything's going on. Especially since there's going to be a duel, as I'm reading in the chat right now. So you can tell I've got like a bunch of stuff in my inventory, like from skeletons, because I was doing some skeleton farming. And maybe at some point I'll show you that, but I got like a skeleton spawner. But thankfully this horse should be fast enough that... Really? Okay, I was going to say this horse is fast enough that I don't have to worry about phantoms. But that was obviously a lie. I think it's about a 3-minute ride on this horse, and this horse is like 11.5 meters per second or 12, something in that range. So there's definitely like room to go up in terms of how fast this horse is. I just haven't like had the time. There's a lot of stuff I've wanted to do that I've not done yet because I want to do it on stream, and one of those things is having a faster horse. And yeah, hopefully the goal is like by next week I will start setting up like what the schedule's going to be and like asking everybody and seeing like when a good time is. Right now I'm kind of just doing it sporadically. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's this up here. We'll find out in a minute if I'm right or totally off base. Now what this needs like grandstands, you know, like a place where I can like go up and watch. I don't know if that'd be like easy to construct. I feel like this is a pretty good view. The problem with it though is that this thing is in the way. So maybe like I should come on this side. All right, feels like a pretty good view. So we get the snacks out. I'm going to eat some carrots for this one. And we're going to see how this goes. So it looks like it's going to be Arami versus Nether Queen. Rules are no totems, and everything else goes. I think Lee built this. It's kind of like got some parkour stuff, so I think it should be pretty interesting. All right. I will try and do commentary in real time. Arami's got the axe. He turns around, throws the splash potion at Nether Queen. Nether Queen is eating food, eating something. Oh, and Nether Queen is dead. Next time eat a salad has been used to slay Nether Queen by Arami. And that is it. I wonder if that was worth the 60 diamond pay-per-view. Yeah, and Nether was lagging out. That was our first fight. You know, I was thinking it'd be kind of fun if we had like a tournament set up. So we get like 16 people to fight, you know, kind of like a Smash tournament. And you do 1v1, 1v1 all the way up until you get to like the top. So it's sort of like you would like crown like a PvP champion or something like that. I think doing something like that would be really fun. We got some spicy things going in chat. Let's see what this says. This is another sign by Remy was taken. We have so many signs everywhere. A sunset duel would be pretty nice. Now, I can't fight. I am notoriously bad at PvP, and anybody who's like played with me on Hypixel will definitely know that. So, although I know some of you are thinking about trying to fight me, that is probably not in my best interests. And that's another thing to point out, right? The retro skull. Now, we did have a skull show up last stream because of the brutal murder by a certain somebody. So that skull's out there somewhere. I suspect Thief still has it, but I don't know for sure. I haven't like actively searched for it. And yeah, the thing is, the skull market, I think like the minimum skull right now has got to be Tim's skull, because everywhere you look, there's a Tim skull. That's one thing we should do, is have like a bed here, so when you die, you can just respawn right there. We got a bunch of parrots over here, and apparently Green Parrot has been murdered. Definitely a server of like untimed deaths. Now, I know everybody who's watching this almost certainly is from the Discord. Pretty soon, I will be like advertising this on YouTube too, to like get more viewers. Yeah, so I don't know if there's going to be a rematch or not. If so, I want to stick around for that, and if not, I might head back to my house and start working on the construction project I was going to do. This is a pretty nice thing. I like having these lanterns here. I think that works pretty well. I would like to see another match if that one shows up, because these grandstands are rapidly improving. There's always more. Prop 4 chainmail. Now, I would like to get some like chainmail set up, because I think chainmail is so cool. Like, it's not that good, but it's just It looks cool, doesn't it? And it's kind of hard to get because you can't craft it. I mean, not super hard to get. But I'm slowly working up like a set of it from my skeleton spawner. So as they die with chainmail, I am adding that to a collection. So the goal is eventually to have like a full set of chainmail that I can put on just as like a new outfit, not for its protective qualities necessarily. And Rogue Fire 4Z is now following with my favorite emoji, my favorite animation on the server. Yeah, if there's not going to be a fight, I'm probably going to head back. But I am definitely seeing the potential of this area, right? And I think there could even be more than one arena. So this is sort of like the small scale one, but we could even like make a bigger one for more than just 1v1. Like, I'm thinking there's a lot of potential here in terms of like what we could do if we wanted to have competitive PvP within like the realms of the server. I still need to name it. I don't know what to name my horse. So if anybody has any good ideas, please tell me, because I do have some name tags. But it's like, what do you name a horse? Like something like this. I have no idea what to call it. Brutus. Okay, Brutus is a pretty good name. Clancy. All Right Thief. I'm not sure All Right Thief would be the best name for a horse. Might as well get some Mindies. Yeah, Nora, the thing is, your shop is so good that it totally breaks the mending market. Like, let's go take a look at it. So we walk into this store, and it's kind of like, okay, what is this store? What do I do with this? We walk in, 1 diamond for 9 mending books. That is, like, so good. 1 for 9? I mean, it's, like, so good I almost want to buy another one. Where's that ATM? There's an ATM somewhere around here. I just want to see if there's anything in here I want to buy. So see 1 diamond per, like, that's too expensive. Oops. Thief, I will pretend that I do not see what's on your head right now. Knowing, you know full well that that came from an illicit activity. Yeah, have I seen this before? I have not seen this one before. Every time I come to spawn, there's something new. Alright, don't trade with me. Well, the problem is, anything I do is now, like, available for everybody to see online. So, if I do something wrong, then there's no way I'm gonna get away with it. Farmed using a netherite hoe. Oh yes, this here has been taken by many people, as the logs show. It's just so tempting, right? For some reason, people can't help it but just break it. All right, the temptation is starting to overwhelm me. You know, I was gonna punch the carrot, but I don't think I can do that without getting in the way of whatever's going on here. And I would like to make a shop, actually. Maybe that's what I should do, is make a shop first. Like, I don't know what I would sell, but, like, having a place to sell things, if I wanted to, is, like, appealing to me. Yeah, see, that's what I should do. I should sell things that are, like, unique to me. Like my poetry collections for all the poems that I write. Yeah, a bookstore. That's a good idea, actually, Nola. I like that. I think that's what I'm going to do, is something like that. Like a cozy little place where if you want, you can buy a signed copy by me. Now, here's the interesting thing, though, is sheep need to eat, but you know who else needs to eat? The player. And hold up. The ancient builders also need to eat, right? Because we can find, like, stuff in loot chests. Now when you're undead, when you're a zombie, you don't need to eat because you're dead. So I think there's, like, some really, like, some deep stuff here that we're missing, right? We sort of take, like, eating for granted. It's like, oh, we got to eat, right? I mean, everyone's got to eat. But that's not true. Not everyone has to eat. That's totally false. Only some things have to eat. So I think what we're forced to do is really consider, like, what does eating tell you about a mob? Like, is there something special? Because only certain mobs can eat. And the more I think about it, the more I think that there may be, like, some really interesting things here. Is it, like, a measure of how closely related they are to the ancient builders? Or is it something even deeper than that? Do things that can eat all have some sort of capability that things that can't eat don't have? I'm just saying, if you think hard enough, you can figure out lore to just about any game mechanic. Now, I kind of like over here because there's space, but The problem is the property value over here is not so good because of something. So I might want to go a little bit farther away. So I'm going to head back to my base and restock, and then I'm going to head back over here and build some stuff. Or yeah, that's true. When the chunks don't load, you just enjoy the void. Because the void, it calls to you. I can't remember if I was talking about this last time, but one thing that I think is really interesting about creepers is even now they're dangerous. Oh, I know what I was thinking about doing. I was thinking about making a diagonal road here, so I wouldn't have to turn 90 degrees. I don't know, and maybe I'm just old school, but there's something about like the overworld journey that I really appreciate. I really like just seeing the areas and getting to know like a place, getting to know the surrounding location. And Joe the Pro says that listening to me is very calming. And I actually get that a lot. I think people like to have my videos on while they're doing other stuff. So I'm very happy that I could be calming for you. Now, this is not quite ASMR yet. And there are 2 chats for retro ASMR, and I will not totally rule out retro ASMR. You will give your entire netherite set for retro ASMR. Your GF likes my voice. Well, you please tell her that I appreciate it. Compliments like these mean a lot. No, I am not going to steal your girl, Dank. I promise you that. There's another question. Is the next video going to be the fourth iceberg? Yes, it is. Part of me was like, well, just for the meme, what I should do is make an iceberg base. But that's kind of like impractical and like a pain to deal with. But I would like to have an iceberg something, an iceberg somewhere, you know, where you can go. For those of you who don't know, I took like a 2 or 3 year break from Minecraft a couple of years ago. And so like a lot of stuff that's changed, it's like missing knowledge. I just don't know about it because I haven't seen it. I wasn't there when it was added. So I'm sort of slowly like making sure that I learn how to do everything that you need to know. Did you know that giant phantoms should be added in survival? I actually think that doesn't make a lot of sense. I know you can spawn them to be however big you want. I mean, like, okay, maybe very rarely a big one shows up. But phantoms as they are, like, I just don't know if there's any reason to add a big one. I just started Minecraft after the 1.13 update. Yeah, so I've also sort of wondered, like, if you're a person who's started the game later, like, what it's like. Because for me, it's like I've been playing the game forever, so it's like I see the game as a development from the original. So it's like, whether I know that I'm doing it or not, I'm always sort of comparing the game to what it used to be. The game now is totally different. Totally different than what it was back in beta. But at the same time, it's not different, right? The basic idea of the game is still the same. It's still about like building, and all the stuff you could do back then, you can do now. So that's one thing I think they've done really well, is they don't tend to not remove features. They just add new stuff that you can do if you want to do. But if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. And I think that's a pretty good philosophy, and I think that's why the game continues to remain successful. The biggest thing, and I think the most controversial thing that's happened, is the change of the combat. That's like a fundamental change, and I think that was the biggest thing that they did, where it's like, okay, now you can't play the game how you used to. And I'm going to say that I think phantoms are the same way too, where they add phantoms, and suddenly it's like you have to play the game a certain way. You have to sleep. You can't just like not sleep. To me, that was very frustrating. Now, I will say, when they added food for the first time, I kind of felt the same way, and I slowly warmed up to food. But when they first added food, I was like, man, why do we have to do this? Why do we have to like have this hunger bar that we have to deal with? But the phantoms, yeah, I mean, I'm totally beating a dead horse here, but one of the reasons I really don't like him is because it feels like you have to sleep. It's a fundamental change to what you're supposed to do in the game. The phantoms really feel like they're aggressive for not playing the game in an exact way. Which I'm not saying phantoms are inherently bad. To me, they rub me the wrong way. Not a lot of things in Minecraft feel like you have to play the game a certain way. I think you just gotta be, it's always a balance between like enjoying things. Like, you have to think, am I thinking about this because I know what the game is and it's different, so I don't like it? Or is it like an actual criticism of the game? And I think that's something that you have to be thinking about if you've been playing for a long time like me. I think the Nether update in general was extremely good. I think they did a very good job with that. And I think in general, Microsoft has done a pretty good job. I think people were a little bit nervous, like when Microsoft bought it, it's like, oh, what are they going to do? Are they going to totally change it? I think their development resources, I really get the sense that they understand what the Minecraft community is, and they understand like what the community wants, and they listen to us. And so I think in general, Microsoft has done a tremendous job with that. And a big part of that is like people were worried like, oh, Microsoft buys it, now it's going to have to be Bedrock. You're not going to support Java. But they've continued to keep Java. Yeah, and once again, Thief is right on the money. They're not touching Java. They're not changing the feel of Java, which for someone like me, it's like Bedrock, sure, go for it. But like Java still feels pretty close to how it felt 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I mean, maybe not 10 years ago, but like 8 years ago. Java still has the same like UI, the same sort of idea to it. Yeah, I'm actually going to make a bookstore. So that's what I'm doing. I am setting up for a bookstore here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have it shifted back just a little bit, so there's like a little pathway to go up to it. Yeah, so Thief, that's sort of why like I feel like I need to play the game substantially to get any sense of like what Bedrock is like, because there's a lot of little differences, but I kind of think those differences add up. Like eventually, like, you know, but again, I don't know. All right, I probably should have known this was gonna happen, but I come back and people are discussing 1.8 PvP versus 1.9. Which I think is sort of obvious why this is a contentious topic, right? Because it does, I mean, the whole reason I brought it up is because it totally changes the game. It is one of those things that they've done that really completely changes how it works. So this will be the center. I like to do things in groups of 5, but maybe I should do something different just to mix it up. I just got to think about what do I want to have? What does the bookstore have, right? So I'm sort of thinking of having like a little bit of an entrance area here and then it like branches off. Maybe a bit of a symmetrical thing going on. Maybe about this book. I'm not sure what the store's going to sell yet. I have no way to get enchanted books because I don't have any villagers. So I'm like super far behind on that. Short stories, I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be mostly books that I've written or other people have written. Yeah, food is kind of forgettable. I mean, I would like it if they did do different things, but I can't think of a way to put that in organically so it doesn't feel forced. I'm not really good at having, like, knowing what I want it to be before I build it. It feels like constructing is oftentimes trial and error for me, which is bad because I feel like I should be able to, like, plan it out ahead of time. So this is going to be like the entranceway. There's going to be a little room over here, maybe where I like restock things. And I think probably the books are going to be on this back shelf. You are sus. That's the first thing you see when you log on to the server. I am curious who put forth the effort to do that. I mean, hey, you know, if you're sus, I can't argue with that. You're either sus or you're not. Ermi, of course. Yeah, that does not surprise me. That does seem like something Ermi would build. A criminal mastermind. I think this floor plan works. This here is going to be like sort of a back room, storage room. But I do want to have like windows coming out here. So I'll have some windows there. Put that up too. Put that. Windows. I would like to get better at building. I think I can sometimes do well. I can occasionally have stuff that looks pretty cool, but not consistently. And I do think it goes back to the not knowing what I want to do when I start. Let modern gaming later go free or else no. I'm not totally sure what you mean by that. Modern gaming later is, let's just say modern gaming later won't be going anywhere for a while. He's a bit incapacitated right now. Here's what I should do. I should have lecterns. I should have like a bunch of lecterns. And so you can like browse the lecterns. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, the numbers don't quite work, but the fact that we're even is not the biggest deal in the world. I can deal with that. Now, I do need to decide, am I going to have a second floor or not? It's not a good, yeah, I don't know. The palette needs some more work. I think this floor plan works. It seems to be about the right size. If anything, it might be a little bit big. The other thing I could do is have this be a room. So then the interior is a little bit smaller. There's a fine line between cozy and cramped. I feel like I need to go sleep again and make sure that the phantoms don't come, because that would be very challenging to deal with. And I might be able to leave that for now as I reconsider what I'm going to do with the rest of this. So I can put that up one, put that one. Yeah, I could definitely stand to like learn how to build a little better. Whatever I decide to do for this roof over here, I want to do the same basic idea for this roof over here. So it sort of has like that connection between the two. Okay, so that's going to go. So we kind of got this like two little tower section, and maybe what I could do is only have this one be a tower. The top one is more of just, that one's just a roof, and this one is actually a place to go. Someone should make an okay so counter, how many times I say okay so, because I like always think about something else, and then I get back to whatever I was doing, and I say okay so. I seem to remember, and this could have been like a feed the beast thing, but I seem to remember hitting a key that would show you the light level. I'm kind of thinking that was not a vanilla thing. Yeah, it must have been feed the beast. It's like you always need 20% more than you think you do. Is covering the spawn with blocks to never show a light considered griefing? Like building some huge thing in the sky? I don't exactly know why you would want to do that. I mean, that's pretty ugly. I'm going to tell you right now. That's not going to make the spawn look good if you do something like that. So I would suggest you don't do that. I mean, if you do it like far away from spawn, go for it. But like, I don't think I would want something like that close to spawn. I mean, yeah, if you do the like 2B, 2T thing of like having the huge thing over spawn, I mean, I have to think that's going to be kind of obnoxious. And I just realized that I did not hit the record button. Hopefully I can download this from Twitch. I think I can. I'm wondering if I could get away with something that's 3 high. I know we typically don't want to do that. You want it to be at least 4 or 5 or something like that. I don't know. It's so risky. Because here's what I was thinking is this here is a certain height. This here over there is a certain height. This one over here would be a certain height. Do kind of a basic frame. And this will give me a better sense of what I want to do for the roof. If you collect enough obsidian and make the big thing in the sky with obsidian, then it's never going to be broken. That is true, but sort of my point is, do we really want to be that kind of server? I would just ask yourself that before embarking on such a project. I did see that Tim is working on some sort of project. I'm not totally sure what that is, but it seems to be a pretty big square in the sky. Actually, you know what? I think I'm actually going to go ahead and end the stream there. I know this isn't finished yet, but as I mentioned earlier, I had the second COVID shot earlier, and it's kind of making me pretty tired and worn out. But I did want to do at least some live streaming. But I think we're going to go ahead and end there. This has been Retro Gaming Now, and welcome back to another episode of the SMP. And I will see you all next time. Have a great day.